Hey beautiful people, how's it going? And welcome to a new video. So it's been a while guys since my last video. I've been focusing a lot on growing my Twitch channel, which has come along very nicely. So thank you to everyone supporting me over there. We've been doing 200 synthesis maps over the past week, trying to figure out whether or not these maps are actually worth it, because I've seen some videos where people have said these are garbage and the sample size is just quite low. So we wanted to test our own out, so we did 200 maps and 50 forgotten rotors. Guys, if you're going to run these maps, you have to run forgotten rotors. You have to buy full sets and just run them, because the forgotten is going to give you a huge chunk of change back from the overall cost. So these maps, to be honest, are not that expensive compared to how they usually are. Now this is mostly down to the fact that people are just boss rushing with these nodes over here, and they're just getting loads and loads of map drops that are duplicating, and then they're selling them in bulk. So very easy to buy this league. Now the nodes that we use to run these maps, we use all of the synthesis nodes, of course. So we have neural pathways, which is a 2% chance to drop a synthesized item. So this is literally double what it was in previous leagues. So this is literally twice as good now. This is really good. It feels really good. You get so many synth bases running these maps. We also have vivid memories, 100% increased effective additional modifiers. So if, for instance, you get beyond, the chance for them to spawn is also doubled, as well as affecting the synthesis modifier. So if you have a 50% chance to get a currency item, it's now 100% chance. So yeah, it's really good, this node right here. And then lastly, the unique items dropped in areas have free synthesized implicit modifiers, and yeah, these are pretty much the same from the Uncharted realms, these two, but this buff is absolutely huge. So if you do it, make sure you take all of the little nodes for the increased synthesized monster pack. And then the only other thing you need for farming these is captivated interest, which is 20% more crescent splitters in the Maven's Crucible, as well as +2 to monster level. So the forgotten can drop double synthesized items, so you can get absolutely GG mirror tier bases in here if you are giga lucky. So yeah, make sure you get this. They will be eye level 85, not 86. So if you do get a bow, it's still going to be 85, which isn't too great. But for things like rings and foils and stuff like that, this is perfect. After that, pay for play, increased chance for an awakened support gem, as well as orb of conflicts duplication is always nice to have if you're farming this area. Now, when I was doing it on Twitch, people asked me to try this out, even though I knew this wouldn't work, because the map specifically says that the monster level is area 80, unless you get one of the rare synthesis modifiers, which increases it to 84 or 86. So don't take this thinking that it will work, because it doesn't. These are the only nodes you need for this strategy. So this is a really fun one, guys. It's a really fun project to do. Way different to normal mapping. And the loot, to be honest, was very good. As you can see right now, this is my tab after 200 maps. We have tons of writs, tons of raw currency, maps, fossils, and div cards. Now, there's no big div cards in here, admittedly. This is just what came on my filter that I picked up and threw in here. But yeah, the raw writs, you can see this is why you have to run the Forgotten. If you don't run the Forgotten and you're doing these maps and you're trying to make profit, you're doing it absolutely wrong, and you should just restart. Just restart. Do it again. Very easy to buy in bulk now with the boss rushing strat, so just make sure you buy in full sets and do the Forgotten. Raw currency, absolutely tons of it. We got 7 raw exalts, and actually when we were running these, I was amazed, because for the first 140 maps I didn't get an exalted orb, which I thought was particularly unlucky, and they all sort of came right at the end. So I think I got a little bit unlucky when it comes to the raw X on this. But yeah, let's take a look at the thing that we're really interested in, which is going to be the synth bases, right? You're running these for the synth bases. These are the GG items that are going to catapult you into insane amounts of profit, and we have a lot of them, as you can tell. So, did I get any GG ones? Did I get any expensive ones? The answer is yes, we had 2. We had 1 +1 arrow quiver, which is currently valued at 105 exalted orbs, and we had 1 +1 power charge ring, which is currently valued at 175 exalted orbs. But on top of that, you don't necessarily need a GG one to make profit, because there's a lot of other bases you can get which are worth a bit less, but are still worth a lot. For instance, we have increased attribute belts, dex strength or int with max roll, which is between 13 to 15. These are valued at around 2x upwards when you get them. Now, if you get these guys, make sure that you just price check them by typing in 18 up here, because that will be what it's worth with the catalyst rolled on them, for instance. So If you do it like that, you can see it's like 1.5, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, stuff like that. You got to make sure you search it with 18 and not 14, because lower tier belts can have attribute catalysts on them, and they will come up as 13 to 15 as well. So just remember that when you're price checking. Now, we have one increased attribute ring as well, and these are always valuable as well, especially in this league with Omniscience. This is around 14 exalts for the base. We have some increased attribute amulets. Again, make sure you search these with 18. These are about 2.5x each. 2 curse on hit rings, early weakness being a really good one. Only about 2x, but still good money. And then we also have some explode bases. So more importantly, for explode bases, you want wands or scepters for Blade Vortex. Currently in this meta, people are using these. So the wand is about 20x and the scepter is about 30x. We got some flat fizz imbued wands. Now, unfortunately, eye level 80 over here because we didn't get the rare modifier that beats the eye level when these dropped. So these aren't worth too much because you can't roll tier 1 hybrid. I could probably sell these for about 1x each if I had to guess, to be honest, even still, because tier 1 hybrid is not very nice to try and hit anyway. Somebody might just set off that because it's a nice addition to the base. We had one +1 power charge helmet, specifically on a hubris circlet, which is very good. This is about 8x as well upwards. A spine bow with spells chance to deal double damage. I just thought it looked cool. There was one on trade for 130x, but I'm not too sure, so I'm not going to price that. I'm just going to leave it there and say maybe it's worth something. I'm not too sure. A bunch of rarity helmets, tier 1 rarity for any MFers out there. These will sell as well depending on the base. I'm not so sure on hubris circlet and the int bases, but like the ES bases pretty much will sell 50 to 1x, 50c to 1x for those most likely. But yeah, as you can see, you can get an absolute mint just from the drops, and over a course of 200 maps, there's a lot of potential there, a lot of potential to just get one. All it takes is one to catapult yourself. So I'd say it's worth the gamble. 200 simp loot maps from the bosses. This is our little boss tab over here. So as you can see, we've got tons and tons of rings. Absolutely great. And when you get the triple modifier, you've got some real potential out there to get a good drop. For instance, a +1 power charge or a +1 frenzy, circle of fear, which, hey ho, here you go. +1 max power charge circle of fear. Now, when we did this, it was kind of tragic because those affixes are pretty garbage. But even with the worst affixes, these rings are still 40x because +1 power charge on a ring is just so damn valuable. We also have a curse on hit one with frostbite and a circle of fear, which is pretty nice. We had cold damage and mana res efficiency on this, so this is still worth a few x. We also had a circle of guilt over here, if I can find it. We got a vulnerability one. Now, this one would have been really good for Herald of Purity back in the day, but Herald of Purity kind of not a thing right now, so this isn't worth too much, unfortunately. The good one I had was this one. So increased global fizz and life gain on hit for each enemy hit by attacks, and 13 dex. So this is a really good ring. This is about 20x if I had to price it. This is a really good circle of guilt that you could get. I think only like +1 power, +1 frenzy charge would make this any better. But yeah, that's about it for these. We got one Storm's Gift. Not really looking for too much on this. We got conductivity on them, which is cool. It's about 3 to 5x or something like that. I can't remember when I priced it. And then this one, increased non-curse aura, is about 2x upwards for the Mask of the Tribunal. So a lot of potential here from the bases, as you can see. Let's get into the spreadsheet and have a look at everything. So we have 200 synth maps costing 66.6x because buying these maps is super easy now. You can buy these from one dude on TFT just because of the boss Russian strat that we spoke of. 50x of Forgotten's cost only 2.2x, so total cost is 68.8 exalts in total to run the 200 maps and the 50 rotors. Time investment wise, it took us about 17 hours. I was doing these on stream. We did it over 5 days, but we were doing a lot of degenerate gambling and stuff like that in between with chat, which was pretty fun. Total ring drops out of 200 maps and 50 Forgottens was 146. So definitely a nice rate on the ring drops. Unfortunately, not worth as much as League because the maps are a lot more common. But yeah, bases wise, power charge coming in at 175, additional quiver coming in at 105. Wait, did I just say 105 for this? I'm at 175. Can't remember. I'm on a roll. Let's not stop now. 105 additional arrow quiver. Explode 120, explode scepter 30, as we said. Stat belts about 2x each, let's call it 8x for 4 of them. The dex ring we valued at 14x. Stat percent amulets 2.5x each at 7.5x. The fizz imbued ones I'm pricing at 1x, so we'll call it 3x for 3 of them. The power charge hubris, there was only 2, one was 20x and one was 8x, so we'll go with 8x at the lowest price for that one. And the LE weakness ring is 2x, conductivity ring 1x. So From bases alone, if these were all to sell, we would make 373.5x from these bases, which is, as you can tell, absolutely catapulting you into Profitville, like no question about it. And the likelihood of you not getting one good base drop over the course of 200 maps is very, very slim. Very, very slim. It does not take a lot, guys. So unique bases wise as well, we didn't have anything too fantastic, just the power charge coming in at 40x and the life gain on hit, global fears, guilt at 20x as well with correct affixes. We're valuing these overall at around 76x as well, and it's very likely the fear and the guilt will sell. So 76 air, so even just 76x, so even just selling these would still be 10x profit. But that's not all you get from the maps, guys. Like the raw drops, the currency, the writs from the Forgotten, everything like that, it comes up to 45.02x in Exilence, which is kind of nuts. It's kind of nuts, dude. So much potential. So like this is just raw fossils, currency, the div cards, ICAs, whatnot. We also have maps in here, and the maps are only valued at 2c, and these are Conqueror maps. This is actually undervaluing these by quite a lot. We have 4 Conqueror Cemetery maps in here, which are like 40 to 50c if I recall correctly. So this is more so probably around 47x, to be honest with you, but we'll just call it 45x for the sake of the video. Yeah, Maven's Writs, we had 31 in total from 50 Forgottens, which is nuts. About 106, so that's going to be your money maker just from raw things back. So this is why I say you have to do the Forgotten, or you're just asking to lose money pretty much. So how much did we total, you know, how much was the total profit? How much was the total turnover? As you can guess, it was an absolute mint. It was an absolute mint. It was a turnover at 494.52x, and then we deduct the cost for the maps and whatnot, which is 425.72 exalted or profit if everything was to sell. So are these maps garbage? Absolutely not. Especially, I mean, if you run like, I don't know, let's say you run 30 of these maps, you can't expect to make a good amount back from 30 of these maps because it's not realistic. It's not realistic. You're going for super rare items such as power charge rings, +1 quivers. You need a good large sample size to be able to hit these type of things. But over a long period of time, the likelihood of you dropping a really good base increases so much that it just becomes worth. It just becomes worth after a certain point. I'll definitely run these again. I'll definitely say that yes, these are profitable if you run them correctly. If you do the full set, the Forgotten, and you do a large sample size, you will make money in these overall. Maybe not this much. You know, this is quite lucky. A power charge and a +1 quiver is quite lucky, so potentially not this much, but I think that yes, you would make money if you did 200 of these maps anyway, and didn't drop these. Just because, like, if you look, like, Exilence at 45, we only needed 21x to break even, and we would have got that just from the 2 explode weapons on their own as well. So, you know, potential's there, guys. Fun experiment for the league. Gonna be doing a bit of gauntlet play on stream, even though I never play hardcore, so that's gonna be peg as fuck. But yeah, I'll catch you guys whenever I make a next video. I'm not making too much league content video now because it's coming up to the last month and I'm not really sure what to do, and I've been really enjoying streaming recently. So if you want to say hi over there, feel free to pop by. I will catch you guys whenever I see you next time. Take care. Have a good one, guys. Before I go, guys, I just want to say a big thank you to my King Patreon supporters, Sen, Nexi, Malta-K, Isaiah, Nifty, and Nutty. You guys are the best. Thank you so much for the support, and I will catch you guys in the next one.